Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today is Friday and I'm a week late. I did watch the movie last Friday when it came out, but unfortunately I was busy so I didn't get to film the video or edit it or upload it or anything. So I'm going to do that now, so I apologize for that. But as you guys know, I have been re-upping my work on the Conjuring series last week. Watched the entire thing straight through. I've already done that, but I did it again, therefore it was fresh so I could review it for you guys. So I was very, very fresh and everything in my mind when I started this movie. And so yeah, I'm really excited today to talk about The Conjuring. The devil made me do it. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It was released in 2021. It was written by David Leslie Johnson McGoldrick and directed by Michael Chaves. It might be Chaves, might be Chavez. I don't know. I don't know. I apologize. The basic idea of this film is it follows the old, actual real-life history of somebody claiming that they murdered somebody without knowledge of it due to demonic possession, right? The idea is that we always have to put our hand on a Bible to claim that we think God is in the presence. So it's about time that we claim the devil's here too, which is a really cool idea, and I really liked it. I think that obviously it's a real life thing, so cool, but also I don't know. I think that this movie felt better to me when I first watched it, so I'm gonna try to go back to that time a week ago. And it's a really solid film. I think it's a really good movie. There are no boring parts. It's entertaining the whole time, which is something that a lot of the other Conjuring universe films fail to do, right? They go from scare to scare to scare. This one, what was so unique about this one to me, in my opinion, is the characters, right? Obviously, we love Ed and Lorraine Warren. We always have. They were in the first two Conjuring movies and the last Annabelle movie, and we got a lot of character development on them, and we really like them a lot, which is awesome, right? But then we also we get Arnie Cheyenne Johnson, who, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up in, the horror lore of, obviously these, this real life thing happening, and it being really scary and really interesting and really cool. And honestly, just the development of that character so quickly was impressive, because this could have failed really easily. Especially considering it's not really as scary as other Conjuring films. If you don't like to be scared, this is definitely a good Conjuring film for you. In my opinion, it is the least scary out of the three Conjuring films, but the most interesting in terms of characters and story, right? Because at least in this one, the story makes more sense in terms of the overall arcing, Arnie story. There is an underlying story where they're kind of trying to figure out who the devil is that's controlling him, which is interesting. But I honestly kind of wish it was just more of the court case about it. But the court case is pretty short in real life. It was oh wow, that's kind of, and that was kind of the whole thing. Which kind of sucked because this is kind of a really cool court case movie. I love court case movies. They're one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the idea of being in a courthouse and learning about each individual and all that kind of stuff. I'm a huge fan of that. But this was still a horror film. Which is cool. It's fine. And I did really enjoy the main, antagonist, I guess. I didn't really care for the demon that was possessing. But I liked Arnie a lot. The demon kind of felt weak to me. It felt like it really didn't have... There weren't a whole lot of high stakes for me, in my opinion, in terms of what the devil could do. Because, the devil could just, kind of kill everybody, and then, it only needed to kill a certain number of people. And then at that point, you were this might as well happen, right? And I didn't think that the stakes were quite high enough. But I still think that there were definitely some scares. There were definitely quite a few scares that were really good, particularly, I'm thinking about the, I like the waterbed scene. That was a really good scene, in terms of scares. There's this one with this mirror that was really cool. The bathtub scene was cool. There's just some really cool scares that worked really well and made sense of the story. The ending of the movie wasn't the greatest. I do think it was a little choppy. I like the idea behind it, but it still felt really choppy to me. And honestly, I think it was just a way to wrap it up. They're like, okay, and we're done with what we want to do with the story. Let's just end it here. And I have respect for that, but also felt a little choppy. I do want to talk about one performance here. I'm not going to talk about Lorraine or Ed because I've talked about them in my other Conjuring films. They're kind of the same. I think that their performances are a little bit elevated here, actually. I think their performances are really A-list. They're really perfect. But I don't feel the need to go deep down into their performances. And I apologize if I butchered this name here, but Ruari, I think it's pronounced, O'Connor as Arnie Cheyenne Johnson. He was really stellar here. Like, really, really, really good. I think that he had one of the better performances in terms of, in every Conjuring movie there's a family that's possessed. I think that he has the best possession story in terms of his performance. It was really, really, really good. I was really impressed. Whenever he was on screen, I couldn't keep my eyes off of him. He was so interesting and intriguing. So I really was happy with his performance here. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything else, so I hope I do in the future because he was really, really good. And I think that even working up to a really solid backstory to frame himself in was really nice because I wasn't expecting it to be that way because he's up against Lorraine and Ed, who we've had character development over like 3 movies already. So I wasn't expecting it to be as detailed as it was, but it really was. And I do like to credit some of that to, O'Connor here, because while, it's the director and the writing, he was really solid, and he didn't waver once. I mean, he was really, really, really strong here, and a really, really good piece of this film. Overall, this movie is really solid. I think it's my personal favorite of the 3 Conjuring movies. That isn't to say that I think it's the best in terms of its quality and general movie making skills, but I do think it is my favorite, and it is probably the one that I will rewatch the most, which is interesting because the third one of the Annabelle series is also my favorite, so that's cool. I don't really want to have to watch another Nun movie before I get a third one, but whatever. I'm going to go ahead and give The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It a B+. It's a good movie. It's on HBO Max right now, streaming through July 4th, I think. So if you guys are interested in that, go ahead and check that out. It is still in theaters as well, so if you guys are near a theater, check that out for sure. That would be really cool to watch in a theater. I unfortunately did not, but that's okay. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please consider subscribing once we get to 150 subscribers and dressing up like Spider-Man and going to Walmart, which I know y'all want to see. So if you want to see that, hit the red subscribe button. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.